Everyone. Welcome to Sunday pregame show on the Going for Two Live Network. This is at Gladys L. Tyler with, of course, the DFS expert Garrison and his live updates. We will be answering your questions on start set, waiting for Eric and Evan to see if they're going to show. If not, send your questions in. I do believe if you're on Twitter that we still don't get the link to questions on Twitter, so go to YouTube. Yeah, YouTube would be the best to go to and look at the show, and then you can ask any question you want. Garrison, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good, not bad. I'm waiting on some news, but I think we're gonna get that within the next 30 minutes. The basically the Rams, OBJ, she was questionable. I think he's good to play, but they're gonna test out Darrell Henderson, see how he is. So once I get that news, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty locked into the slate and know what I want.
Are you gonna play OBJ regardless if he plays?
I'll have some of him, but I'm not going to be overexposed on him. I like other wide receivers better.
So you're waiting for the Darrell Henderson news mostly?
Yeah, because I want Sony Michel because he's really cheap.
Ooh.
And we got and then the confirmation on what's his name, Jalen Hurts, if he's going to play or not going to play. They're saying that it's doubtful, but I mean, the NFL.
Looks like a Gardner Minshew day.
Yeah.
Would you play Gardner Minshew in DFS?
Yeah, because he's 4,000, but he's not like. If I get Michelle at 4,300, I'm not going to find a reason to play Gardner Minshew because I'd rather get my point be safe for my quarterback like a Herbert, Tom Brady, and other quarterbacks that I like, rather than trust my money on Gardner Minshew. That's just me.
I mean, so we have Mike Lennon for sure, right? Mike Lennon's playing for sure. Maybe Gardner Minshew. Kyler Murray's in, but is he going to play the whole game?
Yeah, he'll play the whole game.
You think he will?
Yeah, because they didn't rest him that long. He's been out for like 4 weeks now, no?
Yeah, but I just read an article where Cliff Kingsbury, which of course you can't believe anything he says, but he says that the position that they're in, they are able to be more safe when he was asked about Kyler Murray. To me, that means he's like on a snap count. No?
I'll be honest. I've never seen a quarterback be on a snap count, so it's like kind of hard. I mean, maybe I'm missing someone, but usually a quarterback is a position that you can't really like. I mean, you can rotate him out, but it'll be like Trey Lance and Jimmy G. I mean, you're going from what's his name? Kyler Murray to Colt McCoy. That's a big shame for the game, but it's not like because if you rested them for 4 weeks and you're not, what are they, like 10-2 now?
Yeah.
So they're 10-2. I mean, you could have rested them more. I mean, you pretty much got the playoff in, but I don't know. I just don't see them like forcing it to like rest them in the. If they go up, they're going to rest them in the fourth quarter for sure.
Yeah, the Rams are behind. The Rams are 7-4, so they're 9-2. Rams are next 7-4. 49ers 6-5. Seahawks 3-8.
They're playing Chicago, so it can easily happen. They could be up by 21 points in the fourth quarter, and next thing you know, they bench them.
Yeah. So, are you playing Kyler Murray in DFS?
No.
No,
definitely not playing him. I can get into my plays if you want.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's jump right in.
Quarterback to me, it's just I'm trying to target the higher, like, how do you say it? GPP games, like the highest scoring game.
Right.
Tom Brady's number one for me. He's on his own island basically this week. The only other guy that touches him is Justin Herbert against Cincinnati. I definitely like him a lot. I'm probably gonna have more Herbert than Tom Brady, but I like Tom a lot too. Joe Burrow. I'm going back to that well. I mean, it didn't work out last week, but they're playing the Chargers. They don't have Asante Samuel Jr., and he's a good value at 6,300. Taylor Heineke versus the Las Vegas Raiders at 5,600 is a good value too. But mostly those are my five guys that I'm going to be targeting. Uh, well, four guys, and then hold on, let me find my and Derek Carr against the Washington football team. As we know, the Washington football team is one of the worst defense in the league. It's gonna be hard to find a weapon you want to stack them with because I really like Renfro and then also uh, Foster Moreau. So if I can make that work and bring it back with like Terry McLaurin, then that'd be great. But then I'll have money everywhere else. And this week, it's pretty much you have a lot of value that you can pay off a quarterback like a Tom Brady, like a Justin Herbert, even Matthew Stafford with the Jaguars. But I think I just think the Rams will just run the ball as soon as they go up by like 21 points or 16 points, you know.
Mhm.
But
Let me ask you a DFS question on quarterbacks. So if you say like Tom Brady's your number one choice, do you feel the need to play another game with Matt Ryan in it? Since I'm assuming you're thinking that the Buccaneers are going to be up by a lot, or no? Do you think Ryan's worth it anymore at home
no,
where
no,
there's zero and seven?
I see the point in Ryan, but to me, it's just I Matt Ryan to me is very hard to like trust. You know, like
Yeah,
he's kind of older now. Like I don't know, like he
he's
doesn't
younger
really.
than Tom Brady.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Tom Brady's different.
Everyone's
Like
younger than Tom Brady.
I think the thing with Tom Brady, he might be old, but he took care of himself very well, better than all these quarterbacks. I'm looking at you, Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, you dropped off farther than anything. I mean, talk about a guy that didn't care about getting healthy or a fit lifestyle
Yeah,
until until he realized that he was falling off the cliff. I mean, but
let's not talk about Roethlisberger. It makes
and
me sad inside.
and it kind of sucks that he basically said that these are the last games of him for his career. You know, this is his last year, which it's okay. I mean, it's time, you know, but
That
it's
should have happened
crazy.
like last year. That should have been the
It's,
last year of his career.
well, I found it crazy. Philip Rivers stepped away, Eli Manning, and then Big Ben just keep playing. I'm like, mm, I
Yeah,
probably would have I probably would have taken Philip Rivers over Big Ben right now.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, but running back, it's really chalk, like really straightforward. There's like eight guys that I really want, and then the rest of them are just like throw in or like like all right, I like this guy. But
Right.
my number one guy today is Antonio Gibson, 5,700 against the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders are pretty abysmal against the run. But I mean, they're fish teams, but really in reality, they're one of those teams that allow big plays. And so I can see Antonio Gibson won't get one of those big plays and meeting value pretty quick. The second favorite is no shocker, Jonathan Taylor with the Houston Texans. Definitely going to have a lot of exposure to him. Just find a way to get up to him, whether it's getting value or you know playing Gardner Minshew, I guess. But for really in reality, I think I'm going to get value from my wide receivers and tight end, mostly tight end. Um, Joe Mixon after that, and then hold on, let me exclude one game because I was seeing Javonte Williams, and he's not on the slate. Jamal Williams after that, and Sony Michelle and Elijah Mitchell. Those are the core, like Antonio Gibson, Taylor, Mixon, Mitchell. Those are the core guys I want. I also like Austin Eckler against the Cincinnati Bengals, Leonard Fournette against Atlanta, Cordell Patterson. But those guys are going to be like one off, you know. But
Right.
I think the most popular plays are going to be what you're going to see the roster constructed as. It's going to be Antonio Gibson, Taylor, and Sony Michelle or a combination of Sony Michelle or Elijah Mitchell.
Did you get confirmation that Henderson's out for sure?
I haven't yet.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on that news. Usually they released all the out and in like at 9:30.
Right.
But based on Twitter report, there's numerous reports that are saying that he is like doubtful, and I wouldn't be shocked if what's his name,
Sony Mitchell or Daryl Henderson?
Gerald Henderson like doesn't play, and then the next thing you know is that he goes on IR or something,
Oh.
for like
Oh.
3 weeks,
Okay.
3 weeks. But I don't know. There's a lot of different kind of report. Like Ian Rappaport reported that he's hopeful to play, and then someone else reported that he's doubtful to play, and then so like I'm just waiting for like, all right, is he in or not? And then there's one that says he's gonna test things out prior to Sunday game against the Jaguars, but Adam Schefter reported that he indicates that the Rams aren't optimistic the running back will play. So Adam Schefter said one thing, Ian Rappaport says another thing.
Adam Schefter's a clown.
They all have their little what do you call it? Ups and downs.
Idiosyncrasies. Yeah. Adam Schefter's a clown. And that's a late game too. So, hey Christian, I don't understand your chat. It's I. All right. So Daryl Henderson or Sony Michel.
Antonio Gibson.
No, I'm thinking. So if Henderson does play and you have Sony Michel in, you're just would you switch him out or would you keep Sony Michel in, thinking that Henderson's not playing the whole game?
Oh no, I would switch him out. I would.
Would you?
I wouldn't. I just wouldn't touch that backfield, to be honest, because that means they're going to give him limited workload both ways. They're not going to give him a full workload if he's going to play today. I mean, he didn't practice all week, and all of a sudden he plays, he's going to get a limited workload. So, but yeah, I have other value. I mean, Madison too. I don't know if I mentioned him. I should have mentioned him. Alexander Madison's a great play against Detroit. So basically, your core is going to be between Jonathan Taylor, Eckler, Mixon, Madison, Elijah Mitchell, and Antonio Gibson.
Okay. I like it. I like those guys. Wide receivers?
Yeah, wide receivers. I'm pretty much playing all my stacks, obviously. But there's a couple guys that I really like that I one off. Cooper Kupp is definitely probably the best one-off today because I won't have a lot of Matthew Stafford. But he's just on his own island. Like when he can get, I mean, he's projected for almost 25 points. That tells me that he's like obviously the best fantasy player in this game next to like Taylor and a couple others. But I mean, it's crazy to think Cooper Kupp is that good now. I mean, he was just a wide receiver 2 last year or wide receiver, I like Michael Pittman, no shocker there. But one of my favorite plays this week is Godwin with no Antonio Brown. Godwin's been getting a lot of targets and whatnot. So give me Godwin against Atlanta. It's 6,600. He's not too expensive. I like Hunter Renfrow as a value at 5,800. And then we get into the stacking part. So T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and then also Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, those 4 guys in that same game. I like them all. And then basically it's just the Minnesota game is Jefferson and Thielen, but it's hard to bring it back with someone, but you could probably bring it back with Jamal Williams as a running back. And then let's see.
What do you think about Josh Reynolds in that game?
I don't mind him. I think he's a good value. To me, I think I had him like top 5 in value. So let me double check. Yeah, he's number 1 actually in value per dollar at 3,400. So yeah, I don't mind Josh Reynolds. I think he's a good player today. I mean, you can probably bring it back with him too. But I really like it's just this week the value is coming from the tight end position. It's so cheap. It's crazy. But yeah, Darnell Mooney's a good play. Brandon Ayuk, he stepped into the value at 5,600. But mostly, like, my core is going to be basically those wide receivers I mentioned, the top price ones, like Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Chase, what's his name, Higgins. It sucks because I feel like Tyler Boyd has been dead for like a whole year now.
I have been redraft. He's been dead.
So like it's just, I mean,
a lot. So you went over running backs, and this Facebook user wants to know your thoughts on Gaskin today.
I'm not gonna have any Gaskin. Philip Lindsay came on off waivers. They claimed him off waivers, and he got work last week, and he's gonna get more work as he learns the playbook. So why am I gonna play Gaskin? I know he might be cheap, and you can stack him with the Miami defense, but I think Gaskin, he is. Let me get to my running back. 5,800. I'd rather play Antonio Gibson at 5,700 easily.
And then Devontae Parker's playing today.
Yeah, he should play, but it doesn't interest me very much. I think Tua's a good value at quarterback too. I forgot to mention that, but I'd just rather have those other 5 guys that I mentioned. Yeah, I mean, wide receiver, it's pretty straightforward this week because there's a lot of the top wide receiver are in good matchup, and we're seeing it week in and week out. There's wide receivers that are like smashing the slate because they're getting 30-point game. I mean, last week we had it from I think Jefferson, right? He had like a 35-point game. Yeah. But we're seeing it week in and week out, and you're gonna have to start paying for wide receivers if that's the trend, But yeah, give me him. Let's see. Go to tight end because tight end is the position that you're gonna be saving a ton of money at. It is Foster Moreau is my number 1 tight end just today. He's 2,700 against Washington. He had a big game earlier in the season when Darren Waller was out. He had like 60 yards, 1 touchdown. He should get targeted. Foster Moreau is very underrated. He comes out of LSU, I believe, and he was very athletic tight end, so kind of fit the mold of what Darren Waller can do. Probably not as athletic as him, like in a jumping way, like being like vertical.
Right.
But he's pretty shifty. Goddard is another player I like against the New York Jets. Rob Gronkowski and Kyle Pitts and George Kittle. Those are tight ends I like mostly. You can throw in some Pat Fryermuth, of course, some Mark Andrews, but I think I'm going to stick mostly with Moreau and get my value there. People have been talking up James O'Shaughnessy or whatever his name is. But I just don't want it. I'd rather just go to Foster Moreau for $100 more.
So you're going to do a 3-way stack? Carr, Moreau, and Renfro?
Yeah, that's basically a 2-1 stack. So it's you stack your 2 wide receivers and then bring it back with one of them on the other side. So it's probably bring it back with Terry McLaurin.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again. So if you stack Carr, Renfro, and Moreau, that's a 2-way stack?
So it's a correlated stack. So you do Carr, Renfro. Right. So it's a quarterback plus 2-1. So like two of his weapons, right? Bringing them back with 1.
So Antonio Gibson is too high to bring it back with?
I don't like to usually bring back with my running back.
Okay.
But it does make sense with Gibson because he is going to get reception. I mean, he got 7. Hold on. I'll keep talking. He had 7 receptions and 7 targets last game, but he only had 30 yards. So his ceiling is limited,
I think he's still talking. I still know what he's saying. But anyway, Minshew Mania, yes.
Sorry. I had to get beer because my mouth was drying out.
I'm surprised you didn't have them by you anyways. So there we go. Now it's a party.
Yeah. No, so yeah, you can bring it back with Gibson. But again, like I said, Lo, like it's just hard in that game because I'm looking at other games. I can see these other games going higher than that game. I mean, Washington defense has gotten better in the last 5 weeks, and the Raiders defense, it's not like it is a defense that has bad games, but they can also have good games. I mean, But it's just
They're two of the lowest rated defenses. I mean,
yeah,
one's at 27 and the other's 30th. So
yeah. It's just to me, I'd rather target that Atlanta, Tampa Bay game and that Cincinnati Chargers game. But yes, that's viable.
all right. So Facebook user said Zay got a lot of action last week. Does he do it again, or will Jackson finally get wide receiver two usage?
I think it's gonna be Deshaun Jackson. I think, to be honest, with Dave Jones, I'm not playing him. I'd rather play Deshaun Jackson because I at least know that he has a ceiling to get me, you know, 20 points if he gets that one home run touchdown that he always gets. But and they've been like shucking the ball at him. I mean, he drew 2 pass interference in the Cowboys game.
Yeah. So good morning, Ryan, in your standard league. In his standard league, Ryan has Montgomery, Burkhead, Breida. I could pick up AP. I could pick up AP. I lost CMC and Carter. Also, who to play for in the flex. So which two to start in standard league? Out of Montgomery, Burkhead, and Breida. First question.
Montgomery and Breida.
I
Actually,
agree.
what's his name? David
What's the
Johnson's
first one?
out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
believe. I believe
Is he out? David Johnson's
yeah,
out?
yeah, I believe he's out. He's not gonna play, so maybe Burkhead could be the better play than Breida.
Um, okay. I like Montgomery and Breida, but and then could he pick up AP? I wouldn't pick up AP, but what do you think?
Uh, no, I'm good. I probably pick up Carter. Oh no, he lost Carter. Okay, I
Yeah,
thought
he lost
Carter was
Carter.
one. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Carter and
Um,
CMC are out.
go see if Sony Michel's on your waiver, because if he's on your waiver, pick him up.
And who to play for? Who to play in for the flex? Well, if you're going to start Montgomery and Breida, and then you put Burkhead in the flex, or if you're going to start Montgomery and Burkhead, then you put Breida in the flex, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's a standard league, so you're not getting points for them catching the ball, or you're just getting points if they. I do. Why is David Johnson out? Sick?
yeah.
Hurt?
He's been sick lately.
I mean, he
No,
sucks. I
yeah,
agree, but what? I didn't know he was out. Which I have Burkhead, so I need to put Burkhead in one of my leagues.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. Fantasy Pros is pretty good at injuries when they report it.
Fantasy Pros.
Yeah. Well, I love that site. So
Oh, all right then. And your defense? Are you paying up, paying down? You don't pay up
paying
for
up.
defense. You're paying up for defense?
There's a couple of pay up options because there's only one good pay down option. It was just more of a matchup. There was not that many good pay down options. Top defense is Miami Dolphins against Mike Glennon. Um, the Eagles defense versus Zach Wilson, and the Cardinals defense versus Andy Dalton, and then give me the Vikings defense again. I think Goff, right?
Jared Goff? Yeah, he's playing
Yeah,
today.
Goff. So there are Dolphins are 3,300, Eagles are 3,600, Cardinals are 3,400, Vikings are 3,200, and then I like the Washington football team with the Las Vegas Raiders at 2,500. So those are my defense basically. But
Wait. I don't understand that. If you're stacking, if Derek Carr's one of your favorites, why is the Washington football team defense
because they're
one?
cheap, and they
Okay.
won't be on my roster when I have Derek Carr. It'll be another
Oh,
defense.
okay. I don't know. I think
No,
it
you're good.
I think it's bad luck to put it out in the universe if you're playing Carr.
When you're
Good
ready,
morning, Joe. What's up?
what up,
All right.
Joe?
So, Tampa D versus Matt Ryan.
Oh, you're gonna pay. I think they're the most expensive defense, aren't they? How much are they? They're 3,500. Sure. I mean, it's viable, but I mean, I don't. I'd just rather have the Dolphins defense against Mike Glennon. I mean,
Oof.
I can see Mike Glennon having a horrific game, you know?
Uh, yeah, I think everyone can see Mike Glennon having um, a horrific game because he's going to have a horrific game. Ryan, David Johnson has a thigh injury. Oh, Hurts has been ruled out, so it's Minshew mania for sure. Dude, I just think Minshew's one of those players that on any given occasion will ball out. Like when you don't think it's going to happen, he's going to throw for like 250 yards and run for like another 100. I just think that that's what Gardner Minshew is.
Yeah. I mean, he should have a good game, but like to me, it's this. I'm just waiting on that Darrell Henderson news. He's 4,000. So, and Michelle is 4,300. It's like me saying, do I go and at quarterback put Herbert or Brady, or at running back play, say, I don't know, who's 6,700 at running back? Go play Cordell Patterson or James Robinson. Like, I'd rather have Herbert or Brady, you know? So, like, because you're going to swap, one of them's going to save you salary, you're going to pay up somewhere else, you know?
Right. Okay. Joe wants to know how you feel about Carson Wentz this week.
He wanted a quarterback I didn't mind, but I just didn't make him on my list. I mean, Wentz has been balling this year. People just don't realize it because, well, it's Carson Wentz. Nobody cares about him.
There you go.
But he done okay. I don't think he had a good game 2 weeks. I don't know how he did last week, but he's facing Houston. Oh no, he killed it against Tampa Bay last week. But he's facing Houston. Should be a good matchup. I mean, he already played Houston once. He only got 17 points. So I don't know. It's just he done okay, but to me, it's just there's better quarterback options.
Jets defense against Gardner Minshew. See, I wouldn't. That's.
I don't think the Jets have a defense, but
I'm not going to go that far, but I wouldn't play the Jets defense against Gardner Minshew. Like I said, I think Gardner Minshew is one of those players that is he's going to hurt you one way or another. And this is his first start of the season, right? Like he didn't start at all when he was in Jacksonville. Did he play at all in Jacksonville for the first part of the season? No.
No. Well, I think they traded for him before the season started. No.
I think I thought it was like 1 or 2 games in before they traded for him, but I know he didn't play. So he's one of those guys that want to prove people wrong. I can just see him. I'm telling you, I'm not going to.
I'm not saying Gardner Minshew is not going to have a good game. I think he'll have like a 16, 17-point game. But the thing is, to me, it's more about roster construction. So for DFS, you're going to want to play him. I wanted to play him in a super flex, but my brother beat me to him. And then also, you know, I had an option to picking him in another league, but I went with Tua Tagovailoa instead because I think he's a better player this week. But it just, I mean, you're hardly going to play him in fantasy because you should have a better quarterback unless you're like me, who in one of my leagues, I didn't realize that. Well, I did realize it, but I didn't think it was going to happen. I have Cam Newton on a bye week, and then I had Jalen Hurts as my quarterback. So, and I have a dominant team though, so like I'm gonna win that matchup without a quarterback. So, but whatever. I mean, my team's pretty dominant in that league, and I'm facing the bottom tier team, so I should win.
I'm playing against a guy who in the Scott Fishbowl who is playing Mike Glennon as his starting quarterback.
Yeah, that was one option that one
guy tried to give me. Right now.
Yeah, there's a guy that offered me in that league because he saw my situation. He's like, I'll give you Mike Glennon for a 5th round pick. I'm like, I'd rather die on the hill. and I'm 10-2, so like if I lose this week, I'm still like locked in for a bye week, you know.
I'm not even. I don't think I have double-digit wins in any of my leagues this year, which is kind of weird, kind of sad and weird. So Joe says maybe preseason is when they traded Gardner Minshew.
Yeah,
I didn't think they traded him that early, but sweet. So yeah, so I'm going Gardner Minshew. I'm not putting money on it. Oh, I think I did play him in fan.
Oh wow.
What?
So this is pretty big. Uh, this is more for Jonathan Taylor. Zach Cunningham is out. He's probably their best linebacker and their best
Ooh,
run stopper. So Jonathan Taylor should have a bigger game now. Um,
ooh. Okay.
that's that's
Hey,
interesting.
Zach Cunningham's out.
Yeah,
That's all they
he's just
have, isn't it? Like that's all they
yeah.
have for defense.
That's their defense.
Yeah, that is their defense. So going back to Wentz, then does that uh, does that help you with Wentz?
No, because I think they're gonna do what they did last time. They just ran the hell out of the ball. They're gonna go up. Their defense is gonna. I think this is gonna be more of a running game and defense game. The Colts are just trying to win right now. They're not really trying to get into shootouts or anything, and they're not gonna get into a shootout in this game. They're just gonna
Well, it's only
dominate.
45. I mean, the over-under is only 45.
Yeah,
But no Zach Cunningham. That's Texans have no defense.
yeah,
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's gonna have like, what did he have? When was his most 4 touchdowns? I'm gonna
yeah.
go 6.
Yeah. Taylor's been dominant this year. Like it's so fun to watch him. I love him, and everybody knows that. But it's just to me like I mean that 56-point game he had against Buffalo. It was 185, 4 touchdowns, and a receiving touchdown. So that's 5 touchdowns. And then what's his name? Uncle Lenny decided to try to top that last week. But it
Yeah.
I mean, the first matchup they had though against Houston, he went for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he averaged 10 and a half yards per carry. Now imagine what he's gonna do. Imagine what he's gonna do with no Zach Cunningham.
10.5 yards per carry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to watch that game. I wasn't gonna watch. Mitchell versus Seattle's defense. Seattle's defense sucks.
yeah. I would definitely. I said I like Elijah Mitchell. I think that's
Yeah.
who we mean. So yeah, I like Elijah Mitchell. I think now I'm really gonna try to get Jonathan Taylor in there locked into a lot of my rosters. Because, um,
So
I'm,
anyone who's playing DFS, or if you have them in redraft, you're playing them anyway. But no Zach Cunningham on Houston Texans means no Houston Texans defense, pretty much. So adjust your DFS lineups accordingly, because
I'm just gonna say this. This is Jonathan Taylor's world, and we're living in it. You know what? I'm telling you, Jonathan Taylor is going to be 101 next year in fantasy draft. People are going to be like, all right. By the end of the season, going to be like, all right. And it's cool because I was very high on him. And when he was a rookie, I drafted him in the second round in the league. And it's a keeper league. So you keep that whatever player for, I think, 3 years. And so I'll still have late second round value on Jonathan Taylor. So,
damn, I know that you loved them last year. Like
yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, I know.
on Jonathan Taylor the whole time. So what's Jonathan Taylor? How much does it cost how much is he on DraftKings?
He's expensive. He's 9,200. So
Cool.
I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna give out a core play, like a core running back that I really have a lot of confidence in. Like that I just want to lock him into my roster.
Right.
It's gonna be Taylor, Gibson, and Madison, hopefully. But if that's too, no, actually, because that's too expensive. So let's go Jonathan Taylor. I'm still waiting on that news, but if one of the two, if Stoney Michelle starts and Darrell Henderson's out, I'm gonna go Stoney Michelle, Gibson, and Taylor. If not, I'm gonna go Elijah Mitchell, Antonio Gibson, and Taylor.
So are you always playing a running back in your flex?
I do because they get the most volume.
Okay.
I don't always. I set my roster, my optimizer to crunch to whatever wide receiver or running back. So if my wide receiver is in the flex, that's okay. But I don't like playing double tight ends because I believe there's a low floor there. I mean, I can't think of a lot of tight ends that get more than 20 points. Besides like probably 3 of them:
Gronk,
Kittle, Kelsey. And Waller's hurt, so
Okay. So I really do like the Jonathan Taylor, but at 9,600, that means he has to score what, 30 fantasy points to be worth it?
yeah, well, he's 9,200. You say 96 or 92? Sorry.
I said,
Um,
yeah.
no, he has to. Yeah, 20. Yeah, he has to score like 25 points. But to be honest, I have him projected for, I think, 30 points.
Was that before now or before the?
I'd have to refresh everything, but I had him projected for 30 points. So, I mean, now he's going to be projected probably for like 32, 33.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just learning about the points projection thing 3 times and 2 times time the.
So let me help you out on that though, because a lot of people get this confused, especially
Okay.
that it's 2021. DFS has been going on for almost probably 10 years now, 12 years.
Okay.
So there used to be a scale for GPP, which is guaranteed prize pool, which is tournament.
Right.
It used to be 3 times value. So like whatever their salary is, times it by 3 equals a point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go off that no more. I go off 3.5 times value now. So, and then for cash game, it used to be 2 times value. I don't go off that. I go off like basically 3 times value, because cash game now is there's so much information out there that it's so much easier for them to construct a cash game. You know who the players are. It's no longer like you have to do your research. Let me put it this way. When I used to build 150 lineups, it took me like an hour and a half to build them. Like I was in the zone, like boom, 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 you know. And
Uh-huh.
then now it takes me, with all my rules and my settings all together and all my projections, my uh, roster percentage, everything. It takes me 3 minutes. Like not even 3 minutes. It takes me 3 minutes. It takes me 3 minutes to build them, and then Excel, copy paste, send it to my DraftKings account. Like not even 3 minutes, probably like 2.5 minutes.
For 150 lineups?
Yeah, but it's there's a tool out there, and we don't get sponsored by them. It's called Fantasy Cruncher. They're probably the best tool that for an optimizer. Roto Grinders also has a good one. I'd probably go to Roto Grinders if you don't have a lot of money to be paying. I mean, Fantasy Crunchers, I think it's like $75 a month. So that's a pretty good penny,
Yeah.
It's not cheap, and people, you have to understand how to use the tool too. So like you can't just get it and then, ooh, I'm gonna put the optimal roster, boom. I mean, I'm pretty sure Joe knows. Joe's a good guy. He's seen me work Fantasy Cruncher. It's not just I just press one button. I legit put all my rules, all my settings, everything. Um, I do a lot of crazy things. So, but I think I find it funny that people think it's so easy for the pros to like make money. They're like, oh yeah, well they have all the money in the world. I'm like, all right, then, dude, if you have a hold on one second, my brother's dog.
Okay. No worries. So Joe uses Fantasy Cruncher for his optimizer. I'm assuming that's what FC means. And I don't have a tool.
Yeah, it's so like basically what I'm trying to say is Fantasy Cruncher is like what ESPN is to the sports world for like DFS. Like it's the top of the line to build all your team. But the thing is, it's expensive. So once you get the hang of it and everything, you know what's up. But you have to like you said, it takes like 2 seasons just to start and get the hang of it. But the thing is, like, I've been using this tool for almost my whole DFS. I don't know if you call it career, run,
Yeah.
as long as I've been playing. And I was there before they even made all these, when they barely started.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, as it progresses, it gives you more ability to control your roster. But like I was saying, people they talk shit to the pros saying, hey, you have all the money, of course you can lose and win, whatever. Okay, then go do it in the 25-cent tournament. Go do it in the 5-cent tournament. 25-cent tournament, I think, or the 50-cent tournament, I think it's like $75.
Yeah.
So if you think you can crunch out 150 rosters, or go do it in a mini max, which is $1, and you crunch out 150 rosters, win 15 grand. That's a good payday, you know. But it's not that easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it, you know. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's stressful at times, but if you get the hang of it, you'll be all right.
So let me ask you this: do you play only DFS in football, or do you play them across the board in every sport?
I play football, baseball, and basketball. Those are the three sports I play.
For
Um,
DFS?
yeah, but basketball is more on whenever I have time because I work till 5 o'clock, and that's when the roster is locked. I,
Okay.
I have to be by my computer to do it. And during baseball season, there's so many more slates and so many um, what do you call it, more games that it actually gives me more flexibility to play. Be honest, it's kind of sad, but baseball is actually my best skill, like for my best winning. Baseball, basketball, then football is third, but it's not like I don't know how to say it. Like it's not like that far off, you know.
Right. Yeah. I was talking to Courtney from the Get the Real Deal
Hmm.
yesterday, and we were like, you came up on the topic because we were talking about DFS and really good people to listen to for DFS, and we were both amazed that you have 100 that you play 150 lineups. Like,
Uh,
I can't.
so
You play
it,
regular fantasy too. I can't imagine doing the research to get 150 lineups in.
let me see. Let me see if I can do something. Let's keep talking, and
All
then
right.
I'm gonna see if I can do something.
Okay.
And I
Hi,
don't.
Yeti. Nice to see you. Good morning. It is Minshew season. Um, I think today is Minshew season. It's not going to be Minshew season the whole time, but he's going to try to prove that he belongs. So yeah, I like it. I like the fact that he's going to be in there in an offense that runs 65% of the time, and him and Devontae Smith are going to just take over the game.
It's gonna be Minshew mania. Watch when he like cracks it.
It
Yeah,
is.
you know everybody on Twitter is just waiting like it's Minshew mania season when he freaking goes off when he goes off for like I don't know say 3 touchdowns in the first half. I'm gonna be like oh man you guys are ridiculous man. I'm gonna have some Gardner Minshew. I promise you guys, but it's just I don't know. It's like I tell people this. Um, Temper your expectations sometimes, you know. Like we forget like Gardner Minshew got benched, you know. So
Well, he got benched for a number one. He got benched for Trevor Lawrence, right? Like he didn't get benched until they picked up Trevor Lawrence.
he got benched last year too at the end of the season.
Um,
Um, but
I
they were just trying different. They were trying to tank. But all right, let me see if this works. If it
okay.
doesn't, um, all right. Get that other screen on there. Can you see
Okay.
that?
Yep, I got it.
Click on that. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right, so this is Fantasy Crunchers. I don't ever do this, so to show you how fast, like I already put in all my rules, all my settings. Um, so show you how fast it is to build 150 rosters.
Yeti, I have no idea where the rest of the gang is. They're MIA. Oh my god.
Yeah. So this is how I build my roster. So this is how it does it. Obviously, I take off a lot of players off the player pool. I adjust a lot of things.
Right.
I but right now I'm just doing it with my rules, my setting, what I like to do, and with my projection. It's like only 80% into the work. So
But you still have to go in, like after you do this, don't you have to go in and adjust, like, maybe take out Henderson, put in, just for an example, put
yeah.
in Sony
So
Michelle. So you're still looking at 150. You're still looking at 150 lineups. That's my
so
whole thing. You're still looking at 150 lineups.
yeah.
What's that stop?
So here's 150 lineup, right? So let's
Right?
say I were to get the Henderson news. So I go. I'm on quarterback.
That's my dog drinking water. He's very loud.
I'm a loud drinker too when I drink beer, so it's okay.
Okay.
So let's go. I take off Darrell Henderson. I put in Sony Michelle, right?
Right.
I go to Sony Michelle. I look at his projection. Um, I would have to project him at almost 19.5. So that takes out, right? So if you look at right here, so let's say I say his old projection was 13 points,
Right.
right? So it went from 302 and now 3 times value to let's go 19.5 to get the full workload to 4 times value. So now we're gonna recrunch this. It's called recrunching, so you redo it, and I bet you Sony Michelle is gonna be a top play. So
Oh.
there's Sony Michelle right there, you see. So it
Yeah.
builds my roster, and that's good because if you really look at it, now I'm getting Sony Michelle in there a lot, right? But that's also
Right.
helping me bring in like a guy like Chris Godwin, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, and it still has my stack, you know. I'm pretty sure I would not have Tyler Johnson or Rashad Perryman. So in the last hour, that's what I do. I take out all the scrappy players and basically have my full roster, and then I have a rule. This is just for me personally, where I always have my rosters in before 15 minutes before rosters lock
Okay.
because I don't want to
So
be
you
that.
will.
I don't want to be that person that's scrambling and worried because the NFL is different. They either give you all the news before like an hour, you know. I
Right.
mean, the only time it ever happens is if a player is warming up. Next thing you know, he pulled his groin muscle or something stupid. But if you really look at it, like the plays that I said, I mean, I'm not playing Miles Sanders. I wouldn't play Miles Sanders that much. So I would take him out. And then, yeah, so a lot of the plays I said that I like Joe Mixon, Tony Michelle, Jonathan Taylor, Antonio Gibson, Elijah Mitchell, Jamal Williams. I would probably put more exposure to Alexander Madison. You go to wide receiver, Godwin, Allen, Reynolds, Higgins, Renfro. Basically, the guys I talked about, you know.
Right.
Um, Tight end, Foster Moreau right there. I would not play CJ Uzama. I'd probably get him out. And then try to get more exposure to these guys down here, Kittle, Kyle Pitts. So a lot of this changes. Eagles defense, Cardinals defense, Dolphins defense. Um, but like I go in and manually do it. But that's just something I do. Oh, you can get me back to my original screen if you want.
So, oh, Scott, we've already established that Schefter is a clown, but okay, thanks for that. I'm sure yeah, he's a clown. Adam
Did
Schefter.
I, did I did I miss something? Why do we hate Schefter so much? Did I miss something? What do you do?
Um, I disliked Schefter since he tried to make Greg Hardy a thing when he did that one-on-one interview with him when Hardy was with the Cowboys, and he tried to make him seem uh, benign, for lack of a better word. I've not liked him since then.
Oh, was it after he abused his wife or
Yeah,
before?
it was after that. It was after that because the Texans picked him up after, or the Cowboys picked him up after that. And then Schefter did like a one-on-one interview where he's like, "Oh, he's such a nice guy." Anyway,
I don't believe what any guy that put their hand on a woman is a fucking coward. So
have you seen the video of him on the jugs machine? Wait, the video of Hardy or Schefter on the jugs machine? Who's on the jug? Who's on the jugs machine? Hardy or Schefter?
it's Schefter. I know Jared. He's talking about Schefter.
Ugh, no, I have not seen it.
To be honest, the only video I care about Hardy is the one where he gets his ass beat in the UFC. So.
Yes. We actually, where I work, they had that on the screen, and it was like everyone cheering as he was getting the shit kicked out of him because he deserved it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I don't get. Yeah, I'll be honest. I think the NFL is the most fucked up sport for players that have like mental issues and
Yeah.
like violence, but it doesn't shock me. I mean, and these guys are idiots off the field too. They get DUIs like crazy. Like there was a time that the Bengals' whole team was like a jail cell buddy. Like I can't remember. I mean, it's just I don't get it. You make millions of dollars. Like I'll be honest, if I had $1 million, I would just pay my brother or someone else. But hey, man, you might just be my full-time DUI, DD. Like, you don't even got to work, man. Just on the weekend, like, if I go out, you pick me up, and that's it. How hard is it? Who would turn down? Let's say I offered someone $60,000 a year to be my DD. Would you turn that down?
No, not at all.
On
call 24/7.
Yeah, I mean, $60,000 of your, like, let's say $100 million contract. Like, I don't know, whoever makes $10 million a year, it's nothing, or something. But
I knew this guy who was on the practice squad for the Packers. They don't even have to pay. Like, the NFL and each team gives them like a card.
Yeah, they do.
Like a special Uber, like the black card Uber. All they have to do is call these people, and they come and get them, and it's not coming out of their pocket. It's coming out of the team's pocket. So,
but you know what? Who gets that report, right?
The team.
the coaches.
Yeah.
So think about it. So this is why I argue this point. Yes, they do have that. They have car services for the players. But think about it. Let's say Aaron Rodgers went out to drink on a Saturday night, and he needed a DD. Okay, he calls the car service. Says, "Hey, come pick me up at Olivia Moon's house because I'm hanging out with my ex." So next thing you know, the coach the next day gets the report, right? Okay, these are the guys that got the services the night before. That means they were out there partying. The coach is gonna be like, "Oh, so you don't care about you have a professional, you're a pro, and you have a game the next day." Okay, I get it. I think that's the reason why. I think that's the reason why the players do this kind of dumb shit.
And it is dumb shit. Like, yeah, someone's gonna drive drunk because, and I know that a lot of people leave the bar and think, it's my other dog drinking. They're ridiculous right now. That because
they're drinking with me.
I'm okay to drive. I'm fine. And they're not. And someone should take the car keys with me.
No, like I get so like in Utah we have the most strict drinking limit. Like I think it's like 0.25 or something like. It's even worse. Like I don't know. It's beyond like drinking limit is stupid as shit. But I can't even have 3 beers with my food. I can't drive. And I'm talking like these. So you would fail your breathalyzer test. And it's crazy because I've seen this happen. One of my buddies drank a stein of beer. And he drank a stein of beer and a shot. And then he got a DUI.
That's ridiculous. Because a stein of beer and a shot shouldn't. How big is your buddy?
Oh, he was big. He's 300 pounds.
Oof. That shouldn't have even registered on him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
The funny thing is we were coming. Well, no. We got 3 minutes, but anyways.
Okay.
This was from a midget wrestling at a bar, and I actually hurt my knee that night because I thought I was athletic enough to jump over like a, what do you call it? It's like a fence, and it was like probably 4 foot. Like I thought I could just jump over it, and as I went to jump over it, I hit my knee right on the top of it. And I went straight down, and my knee went straight to the concrete. Boom! And then I was like, "All right, cool." And so the next day, I wake up, and I'm like, "Dude, I can't move my knee." And my friend told me, I'm like, "Dude, like I can't get out of bed, bro." Like, and he goes, "Dude, you fucked up your knee. You don't remember?" I'm like, "No." And then like my leg couldn't bend or move, and I had work like later on that day, and I'm like. Yeah, I'm not coming in. I fucked up my knee. I went to the hospital and checked it, and yeah, my knee was like basically hyperextended, and the ligaments were like strained.
And you walked home on that?
No, I was drunk as shit. Right. So like my adrenaline and being drunk as shit, like I wasn't gonna feel it. And no, we kept partying. Like we partied till like 5 a.m. But I woke up like at 11 o'clock. I'm like, no, I woke up like at 12 because I had work at 2 in the afternoon. But the funny thing is, I asked my buddy, "Hey man, that was a good time," and I didn't get a text or anything back. I'm like, "Okay, fucker, fuck you then," And then I get a message from one of my other friends. He goes, "Hey man, Jeremy's in jail." I'm like,
Oh
what?
my God.
And I'm like, dude, like he left early. Like he took like a shot and drank a beer and that's it. And like, yeah, he's in jail. And I was like, oh, what an idiot.
All right. So, Utah. All right. So we're going to go and let everyone fill out their DFS, put in Gardner Minshew and Sony Michel and whoever else you're, Jonathan Taylor, because Houston has no defense today, we found out. Thanks, G, for that. G, where can people find you?
You can find me at the Fantasy GDFS on Twitter. You can find me on the Friday show with Tim and Jeff, the boss man. And you can find me here every week with Gladys. And I can only say Gladys because I haven't missed one show this whole year, and neither have you. So we're always here, Gladys.
Yes, we are. And also, if you guys aren't following him on Twitter, you need to start doing that because it will immensely help your DFS lineups.
Yep.
So much. All right. And we'll see everyone. Thank you, Yeti. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Facebook users whose names are. G got his Tiger Woods Sunday red on today.
It's coming, guys. Like, I'm telling you guys, just play those core running back. I have a good feeling about those core running back. And, yeah, I mean, I love Herbert a lot today. So make sure you get some Herbertlicious, as I like to say.
Herbertlicious. All right. With that, we will say goodbye. Beauty Queen Wade. And we will see you next Sunday. I will see you guys tomorrow, Monday. Good luck, everyone, on DFS. Good luck, G.
Peace.